Hello everyone, this is Greyshot. Once I'm bringing another CH2 replay. This is a 4v4 on Lienne Forest. This one was submitted by, again, skip now, forever hold your peace. WhiteHotD. WhiteHotD, thank you so very much for submitting this replay. We also have Rosarita, sure, Kit, Chaos, Carp, Bar, Triple B, and Waka. There we go, Waka. 3 Vermont and OKW, 2 Soviet, a British, and an American. This was on the CH2 forums through my new forum link. You can see here the Axis have a small advantage in play time, but it doesn't mean that they're better players. It just means they've put more time into other modes than CH2. But in any case, if this is, I put up a forum on ch2.org for replays. So thank you very much. I figured I'd just highlight this to kind of give that a shout out. But again, keep sending in those replays on my Gmail. I actually just did one on that. And of course, you can always send it back up on Facebook, though I'm kind of looking more away from that just because of all, like I said, a lot of Facebook issues. Wow, that Pioneer squad, I'll give it credit, held off a rear echelon squad and an assault NG squad for quite some time and managed to make it out A-OK. So overall, for not a amazingly powerful unit, did pretty damn well. Anyway, more assault engineers, because this guy went armor company. Oh, honey, you're really trying to test my patience, aren't you? But that being said, I see support spam coming up, so they're going to really test my patience quite a bit, I would assume. Oh, MG trying to go on the flank. Yeah, badly positioned. Assault. Wait, are you trying to get flamethrowers? I think it would take some time for you to get flamethrowers. But hey, I mean, if you get them, that's cool, right? I mean, you need more munitions, of course. But hey, I can see some. Oh my god, that unit's going to be destroyed, isn't it? Yep. Poor echelons. I mean, you figure that you wouldn't, well, didn't necessarily need more echelons since you have engineer squads, but whatever. Anyway, assault engineers going at it. Let's see here. We have Soviet combined arms, some nice artillery and air support abilities. Oh, nice positioning with them so they can just keep opening fire on the MG. And again, you'll have to switch back and forth, which looks like he's not really paying attention to. We have Kit going commando, very nice. And we have shock rifle, so lots of flames and, well, heavier armor coming in. Hopefully, you know, hopefully we see some burn baby burns, just pointing that out. Anyway, Karpusha has gone spearhead, so mortar support's good. Nice little airstrikes, and of course the Tiger. We got Firstrom, so lots of fire and explosions. Wow, okay. This is the problem with going triple mortar. You don't really have a front line, so when the Soviets come in to just say, hello world, you're in a bit of a kerfuffle. Just a bit. Meanwhile, we double check on the far right, and things are going, oh wow, actually worse. Nice positioning with that MG, managed to suppress the whole bunch. And while those Stern Pioneers, if they would have separated, probably could have owned them. Because they grouped up together, the MG was able to suppress, and now they're pulling back. So that should allow the Soviet player just enough time to probably reinforce the sector and hold off against another assault. Especially with 2 MGs, he should be relatively okay. Though, again, the biggest issue would be just because it's forced, there's all sorts of little nooks and crannies, especially on this side, that they can attack you from. Whereas over here, yeah, it's like they can come through this way and come around, where it's kind of easy to block off this side a little bit. But over here, I just find there's way more little passages and whatnot to get around. For good, for, you know, positives and negatives. But in any case, let's see. We have a mortar pit being made, most likely to help with the mortars that are still in this sector, though one of them has been destroyed. Assault engineers still pushing on up, although now they have to deal with this these Grenadier squads in the buildings, and most likely they're not going to even get close before they deal with the mortars, but at least their presence made the mortars run away, which I think is kind of a waste on their part. I think they would have been fine if they would have held the line. So let's see how Honey's doing. Honey is got himself a, was it lieutenant? No, captain. Fuck. I'm sorry. I always see the bar and I'm like, oh, lieutenant. I still haven't gotten used to that. Any case, so yeah, we have some, well, okay. So just to kind of give you an idea, sure, he's going to need to go the upgrade to get something, but I could see him trying to go for the pack howitzer, most likely, maybe a half track to kind of hold this sector. We'll see. Right now, the Germans haven't really put caches. They're really trying to double down in forest. Oh my god, bunker. Look at all this barbed wire. This is just annoying. This is so annoying. But, hey, what do I know? What do I know? Anyway, they're flanking around the Maxim. I guess they didn't, once again, they didn't think that they would just come down from the left. So this Maxim is most likely going to be completely wrecked. Yep. Conscripts being suppressed by the MGs, which we can see here that Triple B has gone Triple MG to try to lock down this sector. And sure, we'll see. Now, he sent his Pioneer Squad over to help left. Kind of curious on that, but I mean, so far things are going okay. We can definitely tell that all the allies, or at least 3 allied players, are in city. So there's really just one allied player really fighting in forest. And yeah, it's going to be very difficult for the Soviets to just keep things going, especially versus a bunch of short or close range units with flamethrowers in a forest. Not, you know, not a great environment. He does have an AT gun, he has more mortar support, and he's reorganizing his front line. He always gets shock troops to help counter that, but with the MGs being placed, if they place them correctly, nice teller mine right there. Again, if armor comes, they're pretty much screwed. A couple mines in a key locations and a couple MGs, especially right here, and the allies could be subdued in their base, while a lot of those resources from the forest goes to the enemy. Now, I will also just point out something. A lot of people say the city is the most important thing, and I kind of see why. But in my mind, I will always say, if you lock down forest, you can pretty much say GG. There are times where, again, the enemy will like reorganize and take back forest, but if you can lock it down effectively, you can get way more resources than taking city. For example, right now it's about even, but if they continue to push up and take this point, and then take all of forest, which forest in my mind is this point up and these points over. If the enemy can hold on to that, then they're solid. But again, Chaos is not backing down. Chaos is like, I got this. And moving up shock troops to push back the MG, moving back Maxim. So he's constantly fighting for it, which should put at least more pressure on this OKW player, and it should allow him to not gain full supremacy. Which means if the allies over here can continue to battle and hold majority of the city, the Axis will be down on resources, which is why they are down right now. So there we go. But in any case, things are not all doom and gloom. We have a, well, I was going to say half track, but no, it's a truck moving up. I'm assuming he wants to put down some type of a mechanized building. Sorry, not mechanized, sorry. What is it called? Panzer headquarters. He does have to watch out, though, for the AT gun and the mortar, but we'll see how well his assaults go. Meanwhile, on the far left, we have some guard troops by Rosarita. And these things are really good against both infantry and armor, though, again, at least a little bit better than penals. So you really have to watch out for them. And they button armor, so they can kind of pin it for a second. So if you wanted to call in an airstrike, sneak around behind it, something along those lines, you can absolutely do so and do a lot of damage. But in any case, the Germans aren't done yet. They have a mortar half-track and starting to get more grenadiers, though, as we can see, Carr lost quite a bit of casualties. Took quite a bit of casualties. And with the guard troops backing up, the infantry pushing up against armor, yeah, things are not looking all that great. Now, we do have a counterattack, which was really well done by Barr, which got a lot of Panzer Grenadiers to flank them and kill the mortar emplacement, which should uproot some of the... Oh my god, I love that building just hitting the wing of the glider. It's like, oh no. Can we still land? Yeah, we hit the ground already. We're fine. Although, that would be an amazing mechanic. Once the wing hits the building, it does like a hard left, like physics-wise, because again, if a plane's wing, you would turn based on impact. So, wow, Barr, you really put that building really far up. Like, seriously. You put it as far as you freaking could, which... I mean, okay, sure, why not? But, yeah. You really have to watch out. Mortars, again, not properly defended, so just some commandos are able to run on up and do quite a bit of damage. They might be able to decap the fuel. Panzer headquarters has been placed, counteracting the shock troops. Again, tons of damage being done. And I like, actually, the placement of this, because we see, like, again, they get too close, they start hitting negative cover, so penals would have to really worry. If he tries any of that stuff. It's not too bad. Wow, okay, we have a Obo Blitz cargo truck, and this thing is really just reinforcing infantry. It's not really designed to like get resources. Let's just wait. No, they haven't checked it. Okay, but yeah, it's a nice like support truck, but it's not like the Obo Blitz trucks you kind of see on the German one. Oh, yeah, it's not the ones that you can deploy and just set down for just resources. It's a little bit different. But, I mean, that can still be good for kind of helping reinforcing the front line, being more mobile. For example, these guard troops, again, not guard troops, Sturm Pioneers, they can reinforce for the counterattack. Meanwhile, the Soviet player looks to be anticipating where the movement is, and I'm assuming artillery is going to come down shortly. Grenade, unfortunately, a little light. Artillery just misses the blob, although the mortar gets a nice hit. Flame half-tracks moving on in. AT gun trying desperately, but the flamethrower coming in from the side, and yes, this is a full rout for Chaos, who's once again still doing a great job at trying to hold this line, but unfortunately he's just being overwhelmed by 2 players. But because there are 2 players, you know, currently curb stomping 1, that makes 3 allied players able to curb stomp 2. Panzer Grenadiers and Grenadiers are desperately trying to hold on to the fuel, but again, might be a little better if you kind of moved up and got some cover, or, you know, moved around from one single spot. But, yeah. Allies are lying in wait. They pretty much have control of city and the center train station. So that means the overall victory points should be leaning toward allies, putting pressure on Axis. The only concern I have is that if Chaos can't hold a full counterattack by the Germans. But right now, things are not looking great for the Germans, even though they did gain a small victory in the forest. As I say that, all these troops are moving in. Although he doesn't have AT, which is a big concern. He needs some AT to fight that mortar half-track. Also, I love how his micro, again, normally you would rush through here, but no, he was like, no, I'm going all the way around, because he doesn't want to destroy his barbed wire. So looked, oh, okay, so yeah, this guy's pretty much given up in forest. He's placing mines as a good deterrent, but it looks like Chaos may have just given it up. And unfortunately, if he gives that up, resource-wise, I mean, the Axis might be able to turn the tide a little bit. But again, that would mean also that they need to put down some caches, and so far they have not done any. So that's also a concern. Also, if we look here, the caches that the Allies have done have really helped them keep on the same side of the Germans. But the Germans are putting down like 3 caches. It may not be going so well for them. Anyway, half-track moving on in against the shock troops that have been suppressed. This fire can do a ton of damage versus shock troops. Plus, again, the more damage you do, the more manpower it costs the Soviet player to reinforce. So that is a big concern. Meanwhile, we have an attack on mid, but this Vickers is more than enough to hold him down. We have multiple, howitzers being redeployed. Though the half-track's moving on up, but we do have a mine right here. Actually, 2 of them. Oh, damn it. Oh, no, it did. Destroyed its main gun, and he's going to back up into this. Boom! Flame half-track's been neutralized, and that's why you place mines, ladies and gentlemen. He did do a Panzer Tactician to try to get out of there, but it just did not work. Just didn't work. Anyway, unfortunately, though, the smoke is still deployed, so all the Germans are trying to use the smoke to push on in. Artillery fire is coming in at the mortars to try to uproot them. One good rocket, and both these mortars are screwed. Okay, well, just one more right there. There we go, thank you. Thank you, RNG gods. Meanwhile, nice grenade and everything manages to push back a lot of the German assault troops, and unfortunately they're pulling back. Sturms with flamethrowers are very powerful, but you still have to be cautious with them. But in any case, it looks like commandos are just uprooting them, slowly pushing them back, and half-track is there, I guess, trying to hold the line for as long as it can. But honestly, it's going to have issue. This guy's kind of really fortified, and I think he should actually push on up. With this guy being right here, there should be no point to kind of fortifying this sector. He should honestly like move up an AT gun to kind of cover this, mine this area up and put an MG here, and then put an MG and mines in this sector. Demo, I mean, I guess he put it there in hopes of an armored unit wouldn't see it and just rush through and just blow it up. But that can be very risky because infantry can still see it. Shock troops moving on in, trying to use smoke to get close to the MG, but unfortunately the barbed wire is stopping a direct flank, which is an issue. He's just throwing grenades now. Nice job, though. Managed to take out the MG. And with that, if he just shoots the barbed wire, maybe he can eventually get through and kind of take over this territory for himself. So at least that's one more unit he doesn't have. But yeah, this guy needs to really refocus his infantry to kind of refocus center. Also take this point if they want to do better with resources in forest. But right now the Allies are doing great. Shock troops coming on the flank, just stopping this poor Grenadier squad. It's like, I'm going to move up. No, you're not moving up. You have a lot of light armor and actually a lot of AT on the German side. So I'm sorry, a lot of anti-tank and a lot of anti-tank infantry, I should say, to just kind of clear that up. So right now, any armor, large-scale armored assault the Allies would probably do would be kind of worthless. I don't think it would turn out very well, just be from the amount of AT. Now, against some other players who have less, yeah, it could be a little bit more effective. But, I mean, we can see here, this guy's like 3 Panzer Grenadier squads. You move up a T-34, and all of those rockets connect. You say goodbye to it. Anyway, meanwhile, assault NG's pulling back. Sturms, I would assume, try to take over this territory. Yeah, this guy just needs to place more mines. We see here there's a Soviet mine there, but yeah, just kind of capture this territory, etc. Kind of weird he hasn't done that. Commandos calling in both more commandos and also calling in a recon run, so that way they can identify key targets on the map. Again, it's this not smoke grade assault. So, oh, they move more quickly by attack. Plus, you get recon planes. That's cool. Anyway, Grenadiers trying to retake this fuel. But Commandos bringing in the glider and saying, no, we're going to hold on to that. Again, desperately trying to hold on to that point. Holy God, physics just going crazy now. Grenadiers just desperately trying to fight for that point. But the Commandos are not giving them an inch until they just have nothing left. That was actually, again, I like what the Allies are doing. They're trying to stop the Germans from really reinforcing this key area, which it does turn into like a German encampment area where they just heavily fortify the sector with forward bases, half tracks that deploy for mechanized or medical heals as well. Nice Firefly, by the way. Counteract the Austrian, which is designed for infantry, but this Firefly is like, no, I'm not having it. Pull it back. Get out of here. Nice try to fire through the smoke. Just can't connect, though. Panzer Grenadiers moving on in. Shock troops. Oh, my God. Moving in. Nice Katusha. I like this guy's Katushas. They've been on point. Fire as well coming down. Murdering some of the Sturms. Shock troops just running through the fire. Just saying, I don't give a fuck. Until they burn to death. And they're like, okay, maybe we should stop. Unfortunately, their retreat path is all the way across the map. So they're going to run into troops by Triple B, which is going to be very annoying for him. But in any case, I was say nice Jackson going in for the flank, but the Panzer Grenadiers are guarding it, and unfortunately they may be able to get the kill. Nice mine though, stops them from doing the blitz. We can see here that they have a tactical movement, which makes them rush up. But the mines that have been placed all across the map are at least stopping them from chasing down and doing a final kill on that Jackson, so it was able to pull out. So very nice mine placement. Again, people are like, why should I place mines? That's why you place mines. It can sometimes save your units from just being eviscerated, destroyed. Anyway, more flames coming in. Oh boy, and they don't really have much AT. Oh, AT gun is here, just wrong area. Hey dude, you may want to reposition your AT. But anyway, the guard troops trying to do what they can, but even though this hurts, even though this thing looks like it can be easily killed, it does have some decent armor to it. It can take quite a few hits. So, yeah, the guard troops are just going to have a little bit of a hard time just pushing it back by themselves. The AT gun really would have helped. But at least, even with that flame attack, the Allies still control that point. So, all good for them. Firefly going all the way around, which I am very confused by. Again, I'm assuming trying to dodge the Panzer Grenadier group. I'm not entirely sure. I really have no fucking clue with this Firefly. I think this Firefly is drunk. Kit, you're drunk? Go home. Oh, nope. This thing just gave target, but Panzer Grenadiers being like, ooh, we see a Firefly. Because again, oh boy. Oh my God. Oswind tries to shoot down the plane and hit the Firefly. Almost managed to succeed, but the Panzer Grenadiers will at least put out its misery. Again, always want to support your armor. Fireflies are very potent long range, but don't try to send them half-cocked in enemy territory. It usually doesn't turn out very well for you because they cannot find an official or find a target. So, you know, you want to be, you want to watch out for that. You really do. Meanwhile, we have some troops over here. Great shot, by the way, with the Jackson managing to put the final blow in that Hetzer. So at least the infantry are safe for the time being. Up, Panzer. Yep. I'm sorry, not Panzer. It's a Stuka bomb. It's a Stuka bomb attack from this guy. Rocket barrage. Holy God. It is pretty powerful if it like hits a stationary target, but infantry can just see it and move out of the way, so they're relatively fine. Once again, I will criticize the Germans for not putting down any caches. And before you say, Greyshot, they don't really have manpower. Well, this guy has a decent amount of manpower, so we could easily put some down. I know he's saving up for the Tiger, but sometimes you want to help out your allies. Because right now, what, a third of this map is currently controlled by the Allies, and they still have more resources than the Germans just because of all the caches they've placed. So it does add up over time. Meanwhile, we have over here Honey doing a counterattack with assault NGs, plus backed up by the Jackson. Oh, yep, grab the Panzerschreck. Don't want the enemy to have that. Missed a shot, though. Looks like you're new to that. Panzer Grenadier Squad, unfortunately, not great against infantry, so the assault NGs are just going to tear them apart. And this should allow a full rout of Germans, which should allow the American player to be in a perfect position to flank German positions in this sector. Meanwhile, we can see how the Germans are trying to reinforce this area, but we'll see how things goes. Again, with that Katyusha is doing fantastic. And it looks like you got a second one. Plus now we have Rosarita now going with the IML-220. ML-20, thank you. I can talk. I just... I don't know if I have a cold or something. I just like, I don't know. It's like that feeling like something's coming over you, but you don't know what. Anyway, Barr did go with the joint operation so he can build his own artillery. So we'll see how things go. Meanwhile, it's just been a kind of an already worn mid. Looks like the bomb was kind of ineffective. I don't know what you were hitting with that, honestly. You kind of missed all targets. You did a little bit toward the armor, but not much. Anyway, shock troops pouring into the forest now. Sturm's trying to lay down mines, but again, the enemy's right there. You're gonna die. Brumbar though moving up, and that will definitely do a ton of damage versus infantry, as we just saw with those shock troops. Holy crap. Brumbar just causing a full rout of the Soviet forces. Nice job trying to drop smoke to capture it, but realizing, yeah, we're not gonna keep this engagement going because I don't want to waste my men. Jackson going in, trying to get a blow on something. Hits the Ostwind, but the pack gun returns fire, making it one to pull on back. Recon, though, is going overhead. We have joint operations coming in, trying to knock out the mortar. And we have a bombing strike. Oh, that was a good rocket artillery. Oh, sorry, rocket barrage. He almost lost all of his squads. He has 2 left, but he definitely lost a lot of his frontline troops. You know, artillery's coming down. Wow, okay, nice. The Germans now lost some troops from artillery. Very cool. But the Panzer Grenadiers are coming on in. Geez, I think all of the Wehrmacht players are going mass Panzer Grenadier spam. Or at least, yeah. Or at least they have, or at least they were until the artillery just wrecked them. Interesting. Focusing on AT guns and Panzer Grenadiers, while you have multiple Brumbars fight infantry. It's very risky, but I mean, I can see it being an applicable strategy if the enemy doesn't properly counter. And how do you counter? You need the infantry to really focus down those Grenadiers, remove the AT component, and just hit them hard with your armor as soon as the Grenadiers pull back. Anyway, we can see here a large counterattack is going on. I'm very happy I saw that, because he should have been able to see that mine. I guess the tree blocked the sight. So yeah, that scared the living Jesus out of him. You know what, actually good, if he had a minesweeper, that wouldn't have blown up. So anyway, the explosion has caused all the armor to come over, but surprise, Panzer Grenadiers are there, and Jackson just gets overwhelmed. Brumbar is now opening fire, returning fire, and those shock troops have now been utterly annihilated. Holy mackerel, both squads have been KO'd. So I love that. I love the demo alerting all the allies, but the allies still don't know what's going on, so they just send their forces, and that turns into a trap. Massive Katyusha counterattack, though, rocketing this small little area. Again, going to cause a lot of damage. And luckily, because of all that, the Germans have to pull back. They took way too many casualties from the counter-artillery assault. But, again, we're actually starting to see something now. Because the Germans took that, it's now equal in terms of, well, resources. Actually, no, the Germans now have more. I'm assuming you finally put down some caches. At least I hope you did. No cache. I can't put a cache there. No cache. No caches. Okay. Commandos pulling on back. Again, unfortunately, the Allies have taken a lot of losses. Like, the front base has been destroyed. Things are not looking great. Allies, again, just because they lost force, they're now pushing in this small sector, meaning they need a stable force here to stop a breakthrough. Because if the Germans break through and just circle and knock out a lot of the armor, the Allies would be fucked. They would honestly, because again, they called a direct strike on the artillery, use the armor to kill the Katyushas, maybe even call an artillery strike themselves on this point, which, by the way, you should really stop putting that there, because I think the Germans know you're there, because they called in artillery on it. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, maybe, just maybe, you don't want to engage that area, but that, I don't know, that's just me. But in any case, we have more artillery coming in, which weirdly you fire it there. Anyway, looks like the artillery pushed back the Panzer Grenadiers. Stuka, though, moving up to return fire. Oh, nope, can't fire for another 30 seconds. Yeah, roughly. Bars trying to hit that flank on that. Wow, you stole a Maxim? Okay, Germans stole a Maxim. Ugh. Opening fire, knocking out the MG, and allowing them to capture points. The Germans are a bit desperate, though, because of the fact that if we look at the stars, right now it's 81 to 471. Oh, nice Panzerwerfer hit. Almost killing 3 squads. Definitely did a lot of damage, forcing them to retreat, and that should allow the victory point to keep or stay under German control. And yeah, that'll definitely help them out while they continue the arty bombardment of this sector. Because now the Allies are kind of congested in one point, or at least the Axis know where majority of them are. So now they're just going arty counter. Which, by the way, how many arty pieces do you have? Okay, you have 2. So you have we have 2 heavy artillery pieces opening fire, trying to counter, and this one can do a counter barrage as well to hit like Katyushas and whatnot. You can see here that it's now an arty war with the Katyushas and the ML-20 trying to return fire, but it's very difficult because those artillery pieces are so far back it's hard to hit a direct hit. Though RNG sometimes will help you out a little bit, though it's not destroyed, they can easily recrew it. Hell, I think they can recruit from their base even. Yep, it's close. It's very close. Anyway, now they need to focus down this artillery piece. But unfortunately, one downside is because all the artillery in this sector, it might actually hurt some of these buildings, so that might be a concern. Brumbar just moving on to the enemy base because, I mean, why wouldn't you? I do think, though, he should have he should probably kill the MGs. If he destroys the MG bunkers, he can move up the AT guns and hit the Panzer Grenadiers, and that will just start devastating all this stuff. But, again, we'll see. Up. And I like how he kept moving back and forth, waiting for each shot.
They have only 75 points remaining.
But, anyway, luckily shock troops managed to capture that point. Chaos is returning some units to guard this flank. Right now, we have the British player with common tanks. Nice battle tanks, but the only concern I would have would be, like, German traps that could really hurt it. But it doesn't look like this guy's really doing that. He's kind of focusing more artillery. I'm assuming. No, didn't really hit anything. He has a defense over here, but he's not. I actually don't even think he can really counter a comet right now. No, he did. He didn't place any mines or anything. Oh, there we go. He's a Tiger. Tiger can counter a comet, or at least, you know, go toe to toe with it. Though there is a Firefly on standby, so we could probably send it over to help kill the Tiger. But we'll see how things goes. Combine that with the Panzer Grenadier squad, yeah, the Comet might have something to worry about. Oh, and a King Tiger! Oh, Waka's like, I'm just gonna bring down the pain. Oh no. Is that heavy bombers? We have a bombing strike coming in. Cool. Question is, will the bombers be able to knock out the artillery? We shall see. Alright, here they come. Oh, the bunker's gone, that's for sure. That poor engineer squad has been hit pretty hard. But no, the bombers missed. The bombers missed. Should have been a little more to the right. But yeah, they're relatively fine. So, there's that. Meanwhile, we have the Brumbar trying to move in with the Panzer. The MG is destroyed, so the Grenadiers can move in. And by God, they're moving in. Again, Brumbars are opening fire on the infantry to help push them back. AT guns are just opening fire on the base itself. Where the bunker's gone, though, not much. I mean, that's just the defenses. We're looking at actually destruction of the. Oh no, there is one bunker left. It's just barely clinging on for dear life. MG now opening fire on the infantry in the base. There goes the Royal Engineer squad. So yeah, they're keeping the enemy suppressed. But that being said, we have an IL-2 bomb strike coming in. Oh boy. Oh, good IL-2 bomb. I thought it was going to hit just the stuff here, but no, it killed the Brumbar and the MG, which should stop suppression on the infantry, which should allow them to push on up. And now we have additional artillery that came down on the pack. This guy's going to need to fall on back. His assault, once again, in a close, tight-knit area. Dude, you need to pull back. The artillery is going to kill everything you have. And you don't exactly have a ton of manpower to reinforce and get everything you could possibly lose. Artillery, though, did come down on his own troops, which does kind of suck. Alright, they're trying to hold on, but, you know, I will say it did pull a lot of this guy's troops back, and it did kill S-25, but I will say Triple B did lose quite a number of units in that push, so may not have been fully worth it. Probably should have pulled back a little bit sooner, but it was still an okay hit, because at least he killed the S-25. Allies still barely clinging on to that center command point, keeping the fight alive and kicking for as long as they can. Once again, I feel like this game would be a little different if the Germans would start putting down the additional caches. So again, so far we really haven't seen that at all from the Germans, even though they are slowly gaining more and more manpower. Stuka Bomb coming in trying to remove those commandos, but the commandos are like, nah, we're holding. we're staying here. We got this. But in any case, hey, at least they're holding. At least they're holding with what they got. So, we'll see how long they actually hold for. But in any case, King Tiger on standby, pushing them back. Commandos trying to hold on to this point. Again, kind of going silent so they aren't seen, so they can do a surprise attack into these Panzer Grenadiers. And it seems to be working. Panzer Grenadiers had to pull back. Firefly, though, against a Tiger, it can't win. Why would you call in... Oh, you call in too close air support. Okay, I get it. To hold back a counterattack like this. Have the AT strafes against the Jackson. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have infantry to take this point. I mean, he has this squad, but I'm sure the Royal Engineers can easily, beat this Pioneer squad. Oh my god. That's a great idea. Tiger pulls back so much, they're like, oh cool, we'll kill the mortar. Firefly going in. Frag Bomb missing target. Firefly, though, can't say the same thing. Tiger presenting itself to the Firefly even. Needs to turn around so it has its front armor hit for a chance of deflection. But alas, is not. Tiger might be able to fire one last shot, but it's very unlikely. And there she goes. Right into the building. That's pretty sad. Anyway, Panzer Warfare Strike managed to push back some of the infantry. Commandos coming in to take the point. Wow. Kit, you're really focused on those commandos. That's very expensive in terms of manpower, but hey, seems to be doing out pretty well in the city. British commandos holding the line for as long as they can, though, as we saw, he did lose that comment. Ostwind, I guess, was there trying to, fight with the infantry, but, yeah, just got wrecked by the AT. Meanwhile, we have this guy who's, again, we have a couple mines here. You should probably pull back that Panther. It's pretty much worthless. Oh, not worthless, but not in a great state if its engine is gone from direct strikes like an IL-2 bomb strike or something. Rocket Barrage coming in, I'm assuming on mid. Panzer Grenadiers trying to push up, but they can't deal with the Royal Engineers. Not Royal Engineers, sorry, Assault Engineers. What am I saying? They're good close range, but this guy equipped them with bars so that just increased our attack power and really start pushing them back. Moved out of the Panzer Warfare's hit area. King Tiger, though, could probably open fire and start wrecking them, but they might be able to kill a CT gun in time. A lot of the support equipment in this entire area has been knocked out, so that's pretty good for the Allies. At least should allow them to keep control of this point. Shock troops pushing back the Brickhead Warfare was trying to cap its, very quietly. Meanwhile, we have this guy trying to put a lot more pressure on the Allied base. If he can start taking out like this, if he knocks out like some of these mechanized buildings, stuff like that, that could be very effective. This one also because, again, if you remove that, you remove the AT component. So, again, if you can just quickly kill that stuff, I know we could always build another one, but it does suck to lose a base. Smoke is being deployed. And again, this is also pulling away a lot of Allied forces from the front, which should hopefully allow the... oh, so close. But yeah, you need to pull out of there. This guy's going to be bottlenecked very soon. Oh, no. He needs close air support or something. Yeah, drop smoke. Don't go forward! Get the hell out of there. Commandos and shock troops trying to push back the infantry. Panzer Grenadiers, though, pushing back the tank destroyers. Yep, he's gonna die. He's gonna try to fire a final shot, and that's why you don't do that. And now you gave the commandos a Panzerschreck. Great job, guys. Just great job. Firefly, for some reason, staying back. Probably can still fire on that thing, you know, from far away. That's fine. They may lose the Su-85, however, which would oh my god. Are you focusing on armor and infantry? Okay, you were not focusing on the right target. Brumbar, get the hell out of there. Don't go turn around. Oh, well, nope, it might live. Panther, though, coming in, which should definitely surprise us. Firefly. Yeah, Firefly, you should not chase. You should absolutely not chase. Oh, now you lost your main gun, and once again, you're going to be a goner. Yeah, I would say Triple B lost a ton of men, and probably could have called it a stupid close air support. And before you say, Greyshot's over the base. No, if you put it right outside the base, as long as the circle is inside the range of the planes, it will attack armor. So you could have done that to really fight and break up that armor, and that might have helped, you know, save that original Panther and a few other things. But oh my god, this is not looking good. If he kills this, come on, one last shot. One last shot, come on. Oh, you miss. Just barely clicking up there. Barely clicking. Meanwhile, Panzerwerfer Strike trying to kill the allies. Panzer Grenade, but the allies barely misses it. Oh no, we have more artillery. There's a lot toward the infantry. Commandos, though, coming on in, helping keep the point. Again, they're trying desperately to keep these points active to win this game. But if we look over at population, 74, 66, yeah, 70. Oh boy. Okay, the Germans are in like upper 60s, low 70s, probably 70 average. Or the Allies are really down. They're probably in the upper 50s on average. They can't stop losing so many men. I will say though, it looks like they are taking back some of the territory in the forest, which is good, which should allow them, you know, a little more parity with the German resources. Which once again, we are nearly 40 minutes in. I'm sorry if I keep repeating this, but this is really something stupid. I can't believe that they haven't done. Put down some caches. It's 1,000 manpower and help you out in the long term. Like, seriously. Anyway, a lot of this armor needs healed as well. I mean, do you have any mechanized buildings anywhere? Okay, yeah, it's back here. Oh, he hasn't gotten the upgrade. Oh my god. Waka, what are you doing? Get that upgrade. The Panthers here are just like waiting and waiting. It's like the guy who goes to a gas station just like waiting for the pump to go, even though the gas station's closed and the pump's offline, but he still has the pump on it, like waiting for it to come out. It's kind of like that. Actually, a better thing would probably be fast food, where you're just waiting for them to come out the window, but the place is closed. So, you know, stuff like that. I will say though that they have put enough pressure in capturing the main points that the Germans are about to lose if they don't capture something soon. Half-track opening fire, pushing back the Sturmofficer. Commandos trying desperately to hold on this point, but the Brumbar decide, you know what, maybe instead of fighting in a choke point in forest, maybe I'll fight over here. Nice grenade, at least kills one squad, damages the other two. Unfortunately, there's not really any other force in this sector. I mean, he could probably, like, if he wanted to, he could probably rush up with assault to move on up. But he doesn't have the manpower or anything to really capture it. So, if he would have just had one squad there holding it off, he probably could have won this game. Probably. But, oh, nice shot. Oh my god, that's the luckiest Katusha. And now this Grenadier's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Anyway, meanwhile, the shock troops are desperately trying to hold this point. Artillery barrage coming down. We have a lot of airstrikes and whatnot coming down this sector. Again, Brumbar's trying to pushing on in. We have a lot of artillery that's also being fired upon. Some of it has been destroyed. Oh boy, or like targeted. Oh, nice frag bomb. Nice frag bomb. Panther just moving on in. Oh, it's dead. Oh my god, that Panzerschreck, the one that Triple B gave him. Oh my god, you've done such a great job with that Panzerschreck. Oh my god. That was a clutch save. Up, half-track, get the hell out of there. Yep, Germans are like, okay, we're pushing on up. And the Allies are pretty much falling apart at this point. There's not much. Oh my god. They need more AT. But, even though this is the case, Germans aren't MVP. They're not going to win this game just yet. The Allies have more than enough forces on reserve and backup, especially with some the manpower and fuel that some of these guys have, that they'll be fine. Now, some of these forces have pushed up a little too far, which is great because now this Comet's taking full advantage of that and killing a lot of this artillery, which is very helpful. Meanwhile, this guy is constantly pushing forward, and there's still artillery and AT firing in this sector. Knocks out the King, the spearhead of that group. Additional Jacksons moving in. This is a good time for a counterattack. The enemy's de-orged, my heart's iron stats, and now they are completely falling apart. Again, the Allies are doing a nice swift counterattack. We have additional AP rounds being fired from the Jackson, pushing back the Jagdpanzer. With no additional support, this thing needs to pull back immediately. Shock troops coming in for the flank, trying to pull back the infantry, but the armor's taken out swiftly by the Jacksons, and additional AT forces coming in, such as the Comet, which had to pull back a little bit. Tiger tank, though, redeployed on the far left point to hold on to that, while on the far right, there's really nothing guarding this point. If they moved up troops silently, they could probably capture it without this Panzer headquarters even knowing. Meanwhile, Jackson's continuing to just do damage, though AT is in the sector. Looking the wrong way, but it's in the sector. Why are you... Alright, getting a lot of AT guns. Are you now? Alright. He will now have 5. Triple B. Also, you were very close to killing this guy's base, but I guess another attack is something you don't want to do. I truly think that if you fire at this guy's base and killed, like, these two things, that would probably fuck him up a little bit more. Sure, he's not getting any of the equipment right now, but I would say it would just be like a morale loss to actually just lose stuff in your base. At least in my opinion, it would be. But, I don't know. That's just me. Because I've obviously seen games where it's like, oh, gee, I've had people say, guys, game's over, we can't win. But in all honesty, the Allies may have been pushed back, but they're still fully in this fight. We can see here the artillery just doing tons of damage, both to the armor and infantry in the sector. Hell, look at the Katusha shots. Another volley on the Jagdpanzer, and it might kill it. Another guard troops definitely helped a lot, but again, oh, nice shot. One of the Katusha shots they think killed the Panzerwerfer. Cool. Again, Allies counterattacking, giving them the Axis hell. All they need is one good assault to capture 2 victory points, and it's GG for the Axis. I'm sorry, for the Allies, and it's probably a full Axis. How could you possibly lose this game? Fire flagging, a nice shot on that. Wait, was it a Jagdpanzer or a Hetzer? It was a Hetzer. Jagdpanzer retreated. Anyway, fire flag could probably kill the Ostwind in the meantime, which is good. Shoot down their anti-air capabilities. And just anti-infantry. Fortunately, Tiger's coming around. They're putting some bunkers up. Comet coming in to help. Nice job. Bet 2. Very, very good. Meanwhile, on the far right, we have a Sherman bulldozer. Trying to take hits, but there's just way too much AT. They can't really keep this fight going, although, unfortunately, just gets knocked out. IS-2 pushing on in. Injured, heavily injured, and yeah, the Allies are still not in a strong enough position to take that point, but they are weakening the Axis quite a bit. Airstrikes, though, coming in, hurting the Allied armor in the region. They're going to need to pull that back. Unfortunately, the American player doesn't have his AA gun anymore, so he can't shoot down any more of those planes, nor does the Soviet player have the half track. Both of them died almost right next to each other. It's kind of symbolic. Anyway, airstrikes coming on left. We have, what's the bombing strike? Okay, cool. He's trying to uproot and counteract this player. I wonder if he knows about the Panzerwerfers here. I'm assuming he does. Well, there goes the bunker. Panzerwerfer's like, yeah, we should probably move. AT guns, though, being deployed. Jagdpanzers being redeployed to counteract this Comet. Comet just being completely surrounded. It's screwed. It's absolutely screwed. Commando's taking this point, not over here. I guess he just went to munitions for the time being. Frag bomb coming in at the last possible moment to do absolutely nothing. I have no idea why you called that in, but okay. Brumbar being deployed. How much artillery does this guy have? Damn, 29 kills, 15 respectively. 5 vehicles. Holy crap. Artillery's just doing work. I'm assuming it's targeting these Katyushas. I know there was at least one Katyusha on Vet 2, so yeah, he's lost them. That being said, these Katyushas have been on point with doing damage, so I'll give him credit. Sturm Officer slowly advancing, trying to use a coordinate barrage to get everything to fire on one point, like this. So that way they can use all the artillery and everything they have to just focus fire on that position. You can see here. That way we can take out this poor artillery gun. Though, one thing though, at least because of the, well, I can't even say that. I would say Chaos is in a better position because his base is still in one piece. He doesn't, the allies no longer have to worry about the right because it looks like the Germans are fully focused in mid. So we'll see how that goes. I think the Germans might be better off just sending one additional unit to kind of keep breaking Chaos. I think that would cause them to surrender. But I feel like the Allies, if they mount a substantial counterattack, could win this game. I feel like if they do, that like a good attack over here with smoke and everything, and a good attack in mid, or even, I would even say far right, and drop smoke and everything, they could probably do it. Like, hell, even the truck is leaving. So, yeah, I think Chaos, if he got his IS-2 fully healed, along with getting one infantry unit, he could absolutely take over right, and it would be nothing. I would say Minesweeper engineer with the IS-2, and he could take over right, no problem. Allies, very smart, again, smart idea, kind of using the close-knit area to make sure that their armor, which is definitely less numerous, is able to keep fighting, at least a little better. Too close air support, though, coming in, just wrecking some of their armor, though. And the idea would be that the Germans have superiority in armor, but if you have all those blocks and obstacles, that makes it harder for them to hit. Unfortunately, though, the flamethrowers coming in, just killing a lot of the commandos and whatnot. Panzer Grenadiers, though, hitting the damaged units as they retreat, which sucks. Guards could probably throw a grenade and probably kill one or two. Come on, throw a grenade. Comet, no! You can't lose the Comet! Drop smoke! Do something! Smoke has been deployed on left. Oh no, that was a big Allied loss. The Allies are really starting to go down. They're probably in the upper 40s at best. This Soviet player, he's just been doing great on his KD, which is why he has so many reserves. They need to capture this area. I think it would be better if they captured the far right, but we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, the American player has lost a ton of his units and taken numerous casualties altogether. Things are not looking good. Things are not looking good at all. Yeah, I think a push on right would really help. Alright, they took that point, but the Germans are just sending everything to come in, and the Allies don't have that much to guard it. They have a couple units, as we can see, with the Jacks and whatnot, but AT forces are moving in, so that is an issue. Alright, at least they pulled that unit out. Oh my god. In the cover of night. Oh, take it. Take it. Take it, you bitch. Oh my god. Smoke. They're gonna take it. The Germans literally just need to, like, pick up one of these MGs and rush it in there. Oh my god. Are we really gonna see an American victory? Or, sorry, Soviet. Oh my god. Chaos is giving a double middle finger to the Germans. Fuck you for killing my base, but I just won the game. And these guys, again, he could have used the AT gun to capture this, but he didn't. And that caused the Germans lost. Nice Katusha hit against the Flame Panzer. GG, very well played. I don't think the Americans, the Allies could have won this game if it could have continued. Nice artillery bombardment though there, but I think they would have lost longer game, long term. But yeah, the Germans just poorly managed their units. And yeah, I think it was just lucky the German. Okay, how do I explain this? The Allies can, again, my statement was correct. As long as the enemy holds force, they were winning. And I feel like Triple B putting a ton of pressure on this Allied base and keeping his forces and everyone else constantly coming over really did help pull away resources from the front, which is why you saw the Germans slowly push on in. And then when BRB just sent all of his forces over to that side, it was just too much and just quickly broke. I think if they would have kept up, I think if he would have kept attacking their base, the Allies would have surrendered. And I think if the Axis would have properly defended these points, like actually had a unit on standby or something like that, they probably would have been okay. But like situations where it's like the Grenadiers going over to the left and you're decapping it, it's so close. I would just have a second grenadier just right there just in case. But that's just me. In any case, let's double check overall damage, and we can see here that overall, we can double checking this. We can see here that the most damage given to, Rosary, he was easily the best. His defense was great. He did a lot of damage, and overall, he was pretty damn good. So I can't complain one bit about him. Honestly, I can't. Yeah, a ton of damage on there. His Katyushas, I'm assuming, did a lot of damage. Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. The artillery over here was fine. I wouldn't say it was, let's say, a definite game changer. The allies could have easily countered. Like, again, you have recon in a direct strike. Plus, you have other guys that have bombing runs and whatnot. So if used properly, they could have easily countered this stuff. So that if anyone's wondering that the artillery, I don't think the artillery was necessarily the thing that changed it. Sure, it did kill some of the armor, but I don't think that was necessarily the only thing that changed it, because the allies had just as much artillery at one point, especially with Katyushas. They could have easily fired back and countered. So before anyone says that, but otherwise, really good game. Axis best player was Bar. Yeah, I mean, he was pretty good. Especially in most kills. Yeah, overall is pretty good. But in any case, guys, that's game. Thanks for watching. It's been Greyshot17. I'll see you all next time. Hello, everyone. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters: Ace, Delta, Joey, JP Vaal, jrchicklis, Milam, Ollie, Onlyplayapples, Pyro Shark, Rifle, sgtMcPain, Streakingwookie, WhiteHotD, Aaron Yee, Jordan Savat, Leo Lu, Nathan, Angus, and Tim. Thank you all for your amazing support. You guys are incredible. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time.